So, my first thoughts were, here we go, they're going to ruin another beloved 80s franchise. Was I wrong? Let's find out. Three generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. Now let's start with the positives. It looks like Beetlejuice, and what I mean by that, it has a similar look. And of course, we see lots of landmarks from the original. I love the addition of William Dafoe's character. He's great in this and really hams it up. Of course, we know he can do that as we've seen him before as the Green Goblin in Spider-Man. But nevertheless, he's excellent in this. Really enjoyed him. Talking of good acting, that brings me to Jenna Ortega, who plays Astrid, Lydia's daughter. It was nice to see a good young actor in this day and age, who is like an offset to Beetlejuice, with him being the comedy and her being the deadpan. And then we get to Michael Keaton, who's on point. Slipped back into the role like it was only yesterday. Now, I've heard people say there wasn't enough of him in the film, but there actually wasn't a lot of him in the original. It's just you never noticed it as much. And that brings me to the cons. The reason you never noticed the lack of Beetlejuice in the OG was because the film was packed with great actors playing compelling characters in a great story. For example, it notices that we don't have Adam and Barbara Maitland, played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, as they led the original film with everyone else being secondary characters. Not only that, they had a very inventive and fun story set around them, from their point of view. Which is why it notices that they're missing in this film. Their absence is explained with a throwaway line saying they found a loophole. And that's all you get. Lydia, Winona Ryder, has the same hairstyle and she dresses the same, but is nothing like her original character in the first film. In fact, she seems more like her real life self. Now, I get teenagers change as they get older, but I don't think it's to this extent. Catherine O'Hara, Delia, just feels like she's forgot how to act, and as a result is cheesy and annoying. Now, the character was always meant to be an inspiration, but in this she screams a lot and makes dumb decisions. Why is she even here? Astrid's dead love interest was obvious, and that plot was a huge waste of time as it barely pays off due to the fact that it's over in minutes. Also, it's very obvious. Too much time is being spent on Lydia's dad being dead and not enough time spent on the main bad guy, or in this case, bad girl. Beetlejuice's soul-sucking wife. She has maybe 4 scenes before being easily defeated within minutes at the end of the film. I should also add, the musical numbers that try to mimic the first film come across as lame and cringe. The original Day-O sketch in the first film was inventive, funny and made sense, as the ghost of the Maitlands are trying to drive the Dietz out. The sequel equivalent was MacArthur Park during the wedding, which wasn't funny at all and felt like it had no place in this film. In closing, the original was a fun, turn your brain off film with great comedy timing, and with the exception of William Dafoe, I felt this film didn't and just feels flat. I should add that the original had a personal attachment for me as I was introduced to it by my late sister. It was one of her favourite films, and so as a result they had to get this right, which in my opinion they really didn't. This second instalment has none of the fun. In fact, it was a chore to get through. The film has way too many characters and plot threads, making the film cluttered and messy. So it's very ironic to say I was bored and found myself constantly checking the time. Like all modern sequels of a classic, this film just doesn't work. My advice, if you're a fan of the first film, don't watch this. It's not even a scratch on the original.